The India-Pakistan rivalry has long been a spectacle often confined to the 22 yards of a cricket pitch. It's a contest of skill, passion, and national pride. But recent events have shown that this rivalry is spilling over into new arenas. It's no longer just about cheering for a boundary or lamenting a wicket. Indians across the globe are now engaging in a different kind of contest. This one is fought not with bats and balls, but with wallets and passports. A viral video from a recent cricket match captured this sentiment perfectly. An Indian fan, when taunted by a Pakistani supporter about Kashmir, simply pointed to his nation's soaring economic indicators. A quiet but firm assertion of India's progress. This small interaction signals a much larger shift in the diaspora's mindset. This evolution from stadium chants to strategic economic action is, honestly, a fascinating development in India's soft power projection. The Indian diaspora, once seen primarily as a source of remittances and professional talent, is now emerging as a cohesive and potent force in international relations. They're leveraging their collective economic influence to respond to geopolitical alignments they perceive as hostile to India's interests. This is not a top-down government directive. It's an organic, citizen-led movement. The decision by many Indians to boycott tourism in Turkey and Azerbaijan is not arbitrary. It stems from the growing strategic alliance with Pakistan, Turkey, Azerbaijan, Pakistan. They present a united front on international platforms, especially over Jammu and Kashmir. For many Indians, this isn't just politics. It's a challenge to India's territorial integrity. Turkey, under President Erdogan, has raised Kashmir at the UN General Assembly. That echoes Pakistan's narrative and frames it as a human rights issue. New Delhi sees this as interference. The alignment is backed by military cooperation. Turkey supplies major military hardware to Pakistan. Naval corvettes, advanced combat drones. Azerbaijan, tied up over Nagorno-Karabakh, gets strong support from Pakistan. This reciprocal backing forms a trilateral axis against Indian interests. When Aliyev said Pakistan is our brother and Kashmir is for Pakistan, it resonated across India. Many Indians see such statements as betrayal of India's neutral foreign policy. Cultural ties that made Turkey appealing have been overshadowed by geopolitics. Hagia Sophia, Cappadocia, hot air balloons. The boycott is a grassroots response to perceived antagonism. It's a message. Don't expect Indian tourist patronage if a government undermines our core interests. The economic impact of this citizen-led boycott has been undeniable, particularly for Turkey. Before the diplomatic chill, India was one of Turkey's fastest-growing tourism markets. In 2019, on the eve of the pandemic, Turkey welcomed a record 230,000 Indian tourists, a staggering 56% increase from the previous year. Turkish tourism officials had ambitious targets, hoping to attract over 1 million Indian visitors annually. These aspirations were built on a solid foundation of cultural promotion, Bollywood film shoots. However, the political rhetoric from Ankara changed the entire calculus. Following President Erdogan's persistent anti-India statements on Kashmir, the tide turned dramatically. Travel agencies in India reported a sharp decline in inquiries for Turkish holiday packages. Online travel forums, once filled with tips for visiting Istanbul, were flooded with calls to #boycott Turkey. According to reports from the Travel Agents Federation of India, there was an estimated 40 to 50% drop in bookings for Turkey even before the pandemic. This was not a government-sanctioned action, but a spontaneous, market-driven response. Indian tourists were voting with their feet and their wallets. The numbers tell a compelling story of a missed opportunity for Turkey's economy. The average Indian international tourist is a high-value consumer, spending significantly on accommodation, shopping, and experiences. The loss of potentially hundreds of thousands of such visitors translates into millions of dollars in lost revenue for Turkey's tourism and hospitality sectors. While the global pandemic temporarily masked the full extent of this boycott, the underlying sentiment remains potent. As international travel resumes, destinations perceived as friendly to India, such as the UAE, Maldives, and parts of Europe, are seeing a surge in interest, while Turkey and Azerbaijan lag behind in reclaiming their Indian market share. The coordinated response from Indians worldwide marks a significant evolution in the nation's global presence. It demonstrates a newfound unity that transcends geographical boundaries and internal differences. When faced with what is perceived as a concerted campaign against their nation's interests, Indians at home and abroad are acting in unison. This collective action is a powerful tool for reshaping international narratives. It challenges the carefully constructed public relations campaigns of nations like Pakistan and its allies. It shows that global public opinion is not just shaped in the corridors of power, but also in the everyday choices of ordinary citizens. This unity extends beyond tourism boycotts. It's visible in online debates, in community organizing, in the way the Indian diaspora engages with local politicians and media in their adopted countries. They're no longer passive observers of international diplomacy. They're active participants, armed with facts, a strong sense of national pride, and the organizational capacity of social media. This unified voice is perhaps India's greatest asset as it navigates the complexities of the global order, turning the abstract concept of national pride into a tangible force for change.